I'm Rupab Sarah and my group member is Momina Mahmood for this presentation. The topic of our presentation is MFA Fatigue Attack. Let us discuss what is multi-factor authentication firstly. So it is a strong security measure because it helps to validate the identity of the user before giving access to critical systems. Multi-factor authentication is as simple as going to settings for operating systems, web platforms, and service providers and enabling those features. In 2020, there was a rise in malware attacks, ransomware attacks by 61%, and multi-factor authentication proved to be a very strong measure against those attacks, including phishing, keyloggers, brute force, and man-in-the-middle attacks. To understand how multi-factor authentication works, we need to execute one of the attack, which is a keylogger attack, and it's very easy to execute as well. Keylogger is something that records each and every keystroke you type on your device. We need to install it, execute it, and let me show you how we do this. For this, you need to go on GitHub, and this link will be provided in the video. And from GitHub, you need to extract this zip file. You need to download this zip file, and I'm just gonna extract it and put it on my desktop. And after this, we are going to install Visual Studio for this to execute, and I'm going to run this .sln file. Program, the code is in C, and to understand how the keylogger works and what is this code, we just need to understand this chunk of the code to know what is happening. Basically, this is the code for keylogger, and what does a keylogger do? It actually keeps track of each and every keystroke you enter into your device. So it is going to send that particular information to the email address you are going to write over here, to and from, and there it also creates a text.txt file into your C directory where each and everything is being stored. It has a limit of 300 before it sends mail, and now we need to execute it. We need to press the start button. Okay, so to run this, we need to add an exclusion, and for that you need to go into your settings and privacy and security, virus and threat protection, quickly going into managing settings and adding or removing it. Yes, we want to add an exclusion of the complete folder we have. I'm going to add the complete folder. Select the complete folder. The exclusion has been added, and now we can run it, and it's going to be different. The setting for the exclusion is going to be different for every device. So now we are going to start executing it, and yes, so whatever I'm going to type on this computer will be shown in this black box, and it will be saved and recorded through this keylogger. Let us see how it works. I'm going into Google, and I'm going to type anything you can actually, how to make coffee. Well, I know how to make it, but still. It gives how to make coffee. So how does keylogger gets all of your login credentials? So this is a management system given to me by my university, and I'm just going to type random keys on this to see if it gets access to your login credentials as well. So yes, it is going to record each and every key, even it is going to record the backspaces and the return if you press it. So this is how the keylogger works, and MFA, multi-factor authentication, was a strong measure against these type of attacks, including keylogging, phishing, brute force, all of these serious attacks. Multi-factor authentication proved to be a very strong measure, but recently it was exploited as well by a technique known as multi-factor authentication fatigue technique. It is a name given to a technique used by attackers to overload the user's authentication app with pushing notifications in order to get access of that particular targeted device. This MFA push spam does not require malware or phishing infrastructure. It is a type of social engineering technique that has proven to be very successful by threat actors when breaching large and well-known organizations. The execution for MFA fatigue attack is quite easy. Firstly, the hacker needs to get your login credentials, and he can do this by different techniques such as brute force attacks, social engineering, phishing, or any of the techniques. First, the hacker needs your login credentials, and after getting your login credentials, he is then going to bombard notifications. The user will end up accepting the request either by mistake, or attacker will contact to claim that he is from the company, and all these notifications are bugs which will be removed by accepting the approval. After accepting all of these approval, the hacker now has access to all of your systems and login credentials. So hackers behind these social engineering attacks are responsible for some of the most high-profile data breaches that happened recently in 2022. The data breaches include Microsoft, Uber, Cisco, Samsung, and so on. And all of this was done by a threat group known as Yanlovang. Let us know a brief overview of Cisco. So there was a Cisco data breach which was done using MFA Fatigue Attack, and it was breached by Yanlovang ransomware group on 24th May 2022. Attackers used a combination of voice phishing, and they compromised a series of Citrix servers, leading access to domain controllers by using different tools such as secrets dump, and they actually installed a backdoor to their system as well. And obviously it has huge impact. They actually stole 2.8 GB of data, including 3,000 files, and they announced the data breach publicly on dark web as well. And this is a screenshot of a threatened email which was generated by the Yanlovang group in Cisco data breach. So how we can protect ourselves from this MFA fatigue attack? There are different options which we can choose, like creating strong passwords or using a physical device which use authentication protocols such as FIDO2, or just changing some settings into your Azure Ad identity protection based on your identity level. So this was all from our side, and these are some links which we have used for this video. Thank you so much for listening.